there's another story that kind of unsettling. So you know the basketball superstar Caitlin Clark. She is in the Women's National Basketball Association. Big star, huge star, brilliant player. Okay, she's on the Indiana team. Now, 64% of the WNBA is black. All right, Caitlin Clark comes in and is immediately the biggest star in the league. Immediately. And merchandising in every other way. Apparently, there's some jealousy that might be manifesting itself into physical inappropriate conduct. Here's Stephen A. Smith on it. Go.
You got people that are resentful towards her. But it's really not about her, guys. It's about what she represents. Before she ever came along, there were a lot of outstanding basketball players who happened to be black females that was doing their thing on the WNBA level. And they never got this kind of shine. This girl, the Golden Goose, comes along and she wreaks havoc.
Okay, because she's brilliant. Right? That's why she's wreaking havoc. Because she is so good. Now, LeBron James, maybe the best basketball player ever, he's been watching this situation. Go.
You know, there's a very small number of men and women that actually get to live out their dream of playing a professional sport. And we have grown-ass men and women out here doing whatever they can to try to make sure that does not happen. That is the weirdest thing in the world, but it is what it is. And I'm glad that Caitlin has a great head on her shoulders.
All right, just to be clear, Caitlin Clark is being fouled at a record rate. Some of them are brutal fouls, and a lot of the refs are looking the other way. And the women fouling her are doing it on purpose. Now, I can't read minds, but it does have a racial aspect to this. But I could be wrong. Joining us now from England is Sean McLean. He's the founder of Origin Advocacy. He wrote a piece in a Wall Street Journal about all this that caught my attention. Number one, what's Origin Advocacy? What is that?
Origin Advocacy is a Washington, D.C. based consulting and lobbying firm. We help clients figure out how to best engage the federal government.
Okay, so you're basically a consultant to various individuals. Is there an ideology attached to you?
So I worked in government for nearly 15 years. So I'm very limited government. I'm conservative. I've worked for Marsha Blackburn, Ted Cruz, and in the Trump administration, including in the Trump White House.
Okay. Now, what caught your attention about Caitlin Clark?
Caitlin Clark has had a seismic impact on the WNBA ever since she first joined. Merchandise sales increased over 600%, league app engagement over 600%, subscriptions to the league pass over 400%, and the team she plays for, the Indiana Fever, tripled in value. But despite all that success that she's immediately had, the league has basically looked the other way as she's been targeted on a weekly basis, and that targeting is putting her career at risk.
Well, tell me what targeting means. What does that mean?
So she is taking on harder fouls and at a higher rate than any of her peers. So it turns out that in her rookie season, she absorbed 17% of all flagrant fouls or hard fouls, more than double the rate of any of her peers. This is not something that you would see occur to any other top star in any other league. And I think a lot of fans are scratching their heads of why the league is allowing this to continue, especially given the economic impact that she's having on the league, which they've so desired for decades.
Yeah, but you're not scratching your head, Sean. What do you think it is?
Right after she was drafted and heading into her rookie year, Asia Wilson, who is a three-time MVP of the league, she's won the championship for the Las Vegas Aces. She came out and addressed the attention that Caitlin Clark is getting. And she said it's absolutely has to do with race. And then, quote, it boils her blood when people try and say that it's not about race. And so, unfortunately, it seems like there's a lot of commentary that's being made by players when they're on camera and they know reporters are watching that show that there is a racial element to this.
Well, the black players don't want a white superstar? Is that what you're saying?
I think, as you kind of hit on and in the clips leading into this segment, there's a lot of jealousy and animosity, and that can be understood, right? If you've been an MVP of the league in the past, yet you were unable to achieve the visibility and perhaps the endorsements that Caitlin Clark has received right out of the gate, it shows that it's normal to assume that there would be some degree of resentment. However, the concern is that resentment is then leading to targeting on the court. It's happening at a higher rate for Caitlin Clark than anyone else. And unfortunately, it's creating a textbook hostile work environment for Caitlin Clark. And under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, the federal government does have an ability to engage here, should they so choose.
Homeowners, when is the last time you checked on your home title? If your answer is never, then this is for you. Scammers are stealing titles, and your equity is a target. Criminals forge your signature. Just like that, your home title can be transferred out of your name. That's why I partnered up with Home Title Lock, so you can find out today if you're already a victim. Please use my promo code BILL at HometitleLock.com, and you'll get a free title history report. Plus, you will get a free trial of their $1 million triple lock protection. That's 24/7 monitoring of your title, urgent alerts of any changes, and if fraud does happen, they'll spend up to $1 million to fix it. That's HometitleLock.com, promo code BILL. So you said the federal government should get involved with this because Ms. Clark's civil rights are being violated as she is targeted on the court, the basketball court, and no one's protecting her. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. I know a lot of people say it's sports, that, we should expect hard fouls, and I agree with that. I'm a sports fan. I like seeing competitive play, but unfortunately, facts are stubborn things, and the statistical disparity in the amount Caitlin Clark is being fouled compared to any of her peers in the league, or the treatment that she receives compared to any other top stars in any other leagues, there's no comparison to it. And so she's facing a hostile work environment. Unfortunately, it appears that it does impact a protected class, her race, as evidenced by quotes by players in the league. And there is a federal element here to where the government can intervene. And we've already seen this. The federal government gets involved in sports all the time. We've seen it with MLB and steroids, NFL concussions, USA gymnastics and Dr. Larry Nassar. And even just this past year, President Trump and his administration have really leaned in to fixing disparities at universities and within the NCAA, within fencing, swimming, gymnastics, and has been receiving direct results.
All right, but this is the first time race has really gotten to this level. Why do you think the referees don't protect her more?
I think that's a great question. And I think the one key that, the 17% of flagrant fouls that she receives versus others, that's just based on calls that have actually been, that the referees actually call. The biggest problem here is that they don't call a lot of these fouls that are committed against her. Rebecca Lobo, an analyst and former player, has pointed that out. And so if there's an actual audit of the past season of all the missed calls, I actually think the disparity would be much greater than 17%.
Has any player in the WNBA said that they don't want white girls to be dominant or any kind of stuff like that surfaced?
There's the Asia Wilson quote, right? The race, it's absolutely about race. There's been other incidents where it's been questionable. So it seems like there is a pattern out there to where race is an element here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's enough to take it into court on a Title VII, but certainly there should be an investigation because you got the videotape. You can see, as you just pointed out, how she's being roughed up and whether the referees are looking the other way or who's roughing her up. You can see
Right.
all that. And I think that would be a very compelling evidence. Last word.
I think the point that you just made is key, right? This isn't about an airtight legal case for the federal government, but what the facts do show is that there is a lot of red flags here. Where there's smoke, there's typically fire. And if there is an investigation, and as we've seen in past investigations, once lead communications are reviewed, there may be a lot more damning evidence that comes to light that really underscores what's taking place within the
Yeah,
league,
somebody should look into
indicates
it.
why they won't fix it.
I agree 100%. Sean, thanks very much. Really appreciate it.